Hare Krishna. So we are hearing about Chitrakoot Dham, and this is a final video wherein we are going to hear about Chitrakoot and Remuna. The deity of Kshirachora Gopinath. Sri Kaisoranandadeva Gosvami, a disciple of Rasikananda, wrote a book in Oriya, the language of Orissa, telling how the Gopinath deity came to Remuna from Chitrakoot. The book related that in Treta-yuga, more than 1,000,000 years ago, the Supreme Lord Ramacandra and his wife Sita Devi decided to live for some time at Chitrakoot in north-central India. Once, during the rainy season, a strong storm forced Rama and Sita to take shelter in the ashram of some sage. On seeing the many cows in the ashram and hearing their mooing, Lord Ramacandra told Sita Devi, "Seeing all these cows, I am reminded of my pastimes in Dvapara-yuga." Lord Ramacandra was referring to his latter appearance as Lord Krishna. Sita Devi said, "What do you mean? Please tell me about those pastimes." Lord Rama replied, "Just wait a week. With an arrow, I will carve some pictures of those pastimes in a black rock, and you will be able to see them." But after 4 days, Sita said, "I can't wait any longer. Please show me what you have done." To please her, Lord Ramacandra then showed her the carvings. He had completed a deity of Gopal Krishna. His back is still attached to the stone, and on that stone itself, drawings of Krishna's 8 principal gopis, cowherd girls, and 4 maidservants to the gopis. Also depicted were 12 cows, Lord Balram wrestling with Mustika and Krishna wrestling with Chamura, and a few other scenes. Pleased to see all this, Sita began to worship the Gopal deity at Chitrakoot. After a few days, Ram and Sita left. So, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, came and took over the worship of the deities, a service he was to perform to the rest of the Treta-yuga, to Dvapara-yuga, and several centuries of Kali-yuga. When Lord Ramacandra returned to India from Lanka after killing demon Ravana, he stayed for 4 days at the place called Remuna in Orissa. Sita Devi wanted to bathe there in the Ganges, so Rama shot 7 arrows into the ground and brought Ganga there. Today that place is called Saptakshara, 7 arrows. The deities of Lord Shiva named Gargaswara was later installed there. Nearby stands a deity of Durga Devi known as Ramachandi, because Lord Ramacandra felt pleasure Raman at that place. It came to be known as Remuna. In the 13th century, King Langula Narsimhadev from Orissa was travelling to holy places with his queen and many great sages. At Chitrakoot, they saw the deity of Gopal. Nobody knowing that Brahma was coming there to worship the deity, he was asked a night to no one was worshipping such a beautiful deity. That night, the deity appeared in a dream to the king and asked him to take him to more populated place. King decided to take Gopal to Jagannath Puri. The king selected some qualified brahmanas to worship the deities and started for Puri. But when they reached Remuna, a beautiful cowherd village, Gopal again appeared to the king in a dream and asked him to install him there itself. The village people delighted and gave the deity large quantities of milks and milk product every day. The queen noticed that the deity was accompanied by carvings of 8 principal gopis, so she named him Gopinath, Lord of the Gopis. Not long after the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a king who was a deity hater was going around smashing deities in the temples. When the people of Remuna heard he was coming, they hid Gopinath in a pond 3 miles away. The king was upset that he couldn't find Gopinath, so he struck and partially broke Ramacandra, the Durga deity. Meanwhile, a great devotee named Rasikananda received an order to excavate the pond where Gopinath was hidden. He recovered the Gopinath deity, built a temple for him, and took charge of his worship. Rasikanand was foremost disciple of Shyamanand, who had helped transport from Vrindavan to Bengal the writings of the Goswamis, leaders in Lord Chaitanya's movement. Shyamananda had spread Krishna consciousness extensively in Orissa, where Rasikananda had come and became his disciple. When Rasikananda decided it was time to leave the world, he went into the Gopinath temple and disappeared. He had been performing Sankirtana in the temple courtyard with 7 of his associates. And now his associates were so overwhelmed by spiritual separation that they too gave up their bodies and entered the spiritual world. Their samadhis, tombs of Rasikanand and their associates, stand outside the temple. Each spring, the people of Remuna hold a 12-day festival to commemorate the passing of them. Sripad Madhavendra Puri Goswami once, while travelling to Puri, came here. While here, he had a desire to taste the famous kheera, sweet rice offering made for Gopinath. He wanted to cook a similar offering for his deity of Gopal at Govardhan. Reciprocating with his desire, Lord Gopinath stole a pot of sweet rice and kept it behind the altar. Pujari of the temple got a dream of Gopinath telling him that he has stolen this pot and that it should be handed over to his dear devotee Madhavendra Puri. From that day onwards, Gopinath came to be known as Kshirachora Gopinath. So this was how the deity of Gopinath was named as Kshirachora Gopinath. Now how can you visit Remuna? The best way to get to Remuna from Calcutta is to take a train from Howrah station to Bhaleshwar, Balusuri, about a 5-hour trip, depending on the train. From Bhaleshwara, you can go 12 kilometers to Remuna by taxi, auto rickshaw, or bus. And thus we have heard about Holy Dham Chitrakoot and its glorification. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.